Stand by Nicoletta, please. Episode 18 and Nicoletta, go. Well, welcome back. Hang on, I think I'm going to make this a tradition now. Okay, I've got to move my mic as well. It's a bit. Splash it on. Yeah, splashing it on. Because then I'm show ready. Right, Clarence has gone. Oh la! How is everybody? So obviously in the last one you saw that I had a technical error. Although it wasn't strictly a technical error. It was, looking back at the footage, it turns out that when I moved the camera I actually turned it off. So that's good, isn't it? And, sorry Liz, just got to move you. And yesterday I recorded another episode. Was pleased with it, boosted it out. I managed to be proving a couple of loaves and making a marmalade tea bread. Was in the oven. Thought, oh, that's good. Went to put it all together. Now that the threaditor has resigned his post, and turned out that when I was moving around at one point yesterday to put a bit of jigsaw in, I pulled the mic cable out. So I had lots of footage. So as opposed to the other way around, what I mugged it the other day. And considering my profession is sort of in a technical sort of element, I'm making a right fool of myself. So the sooner that Steve in Australia can get his act together and come over, Sparky and Scott can come and help me and make this, well, or clear the shed out for me, so I'm not tripping over cables. That'd be much better. So I've got a couple of piles, or 3 piles of jigsaw. I should finish that sentence. I've got windows, yellowy bits, and greenery. Okay, so let's show you le puzzle, just to remind you. Oh, and I've got words. A lot of words in this puzzle, so they're all going sort of over there. Yeah, so technical issues, but I don't think anybody cares particularly, do they? So I have sent. So there's an amazing company who create, design. They work for brands. Do you know what I mean? They sort of do all that sort of stuff for brands all over the world. So I sent Kate the JigJaw logo, you know, with the jigsaw piece going across and sparkle, because I thought they're going to be so impressed that I'll probably have a job on the team, and they're also trendy. I did also write to them and say that I had cut my own fringe, so I look really, really trendy in Shoreditch. So hopefully I've got a job because that jigsaw piece, although Strictly Freddie did that, didn't he? I'm just adding it on now. So I hope I don't get the job now in case she expects, in case the team expects quite a lot of me. Do you know what I mean? Well, we'll have to see. Anyway, I think that they will be very impressed with the JigJaw logo. I think mind will be blown, and probably coming directly for me, you know, to me for technical tips. I can imagine. Do you know what I mean? That's a given, isn't it? Right, so the email. So there have been more emails since the last one I did, which is fortunately heaven. So Gemma has emailed from Wales, has she? Now, my Welsh isn't great, but I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to try and do it, but come in and out of it. Sometimes it sort of borders Pakistani accent, so do forgive me, Gem. So Gemma, she's in the Native Getting Cardiff, is she? And she messaged to say she didn't actually do the common courtesy of the Commodore, which is rude, just like you, just casual. Do you remember when we went to the Middle East and Liz had more luggage space than me? Well, fortunately, Gemma, thank you for emailing that, because, so this one here, Merrill Utility Shoe, Liz, that's her there. Sorry to put her by Nathan's face. So, yeah, we were going on a job, and Liz and I were very, very lucky because we were being put in business class, right? And anyway, so Gemma was coming with us, and she sadly wasn't. She hadn't been put in business. However, so we wrote, I didn't write at all. Gemma set up a WhatsApp group for the 3 of us because we were going to meet at the airport. And Gemma, I'm really struggling to get 23k. 23k's worth of stuff. I've got more stuff. I don't know what to do with my excess luggage. What are you going to do? Well, I laughed because I knew that we were both going business and hadn't quite broached it with Jem yet. But I also knew that Liz, you know, the one that watched Carol on the plane last time, got stressed. She was now beside herself that we were in business, Gemma wasn't. But the biggest issue was that we had 45k of luggage, right? So we could shove anything in. We could put children in if we wanted. Anyway, so I rang Liz after Gemma's message, because Gemma was trying to work, because Gemma's got more clothes, probably equal to Nathan, right? She hasn't set her own shop up, that's just because she's been busy, but she would if she could. Anyway, so I rang Liz and said, right, what are you going to do now, babes? Because you have got 45 kilos of luggage, Gemma's got 23, and I can tell you what Liz's outfits are. It's a big pair of blue jeans, overlong, massive turn-ups, one. A pair of black trousers, smart casuals, well, they're her smart ones, they're her blacks, they're her working black show trousers. She's got a blue t-shirt, she's got a black shirt, a blue shirt, and one shirt with birds on it. She says they're puffins, they're not, because puffins have colourful beaks and these don't. Anyway, so that Liz's items probably maximum 8 kilos. She throws a toothbrush in and some toiletries, obviously, but she had ample. In 23 would have. I mean, Liz would have struggled with 23 kits. So I'm just having a little dunking of my tea bag, which just for Scotland to keep an eye on my tea. Hang on, I've got to slurp now. Anyway, so I was laughing because Liz was now in another right old pickle down in Brighton, like the stress of it. I messaged Gemma to say, look, what's hilarious is, sadly, Gem, we're in business, you're not, but I know that Liz has got 45 kilos and she's really stressing. Isn't it hilarious? Anyway, so eventually Liz rang Gem, and Gem said, well, is there any chance that I could, could I have an extra suitcase? If you're only using half a suitcase and you can take about 8, is there any way that I could, can you take one of my bags in? Well, this threw up a whole other dilemma, didn't it? Taking someone else's bag, even though Gemma is like family to us. It's like saying to my daughter, what have you got in that bag? Have you got any lithium batteries? That sort of thing. Anyway, Liz couldn't help herself. So she was beside herself, had to concede that it did seem foolish that there was no way. I mean, Liz could have taken hand luggage. Do you know what I mean? That's where we were. So, in a nutshell, Liz said, well, yeah, I can take one of your suitcases. We'll meet at the airport, take one of your suitcases. But can I just ask what you're putting in your suitcase? Well, because this wasn't just about, this was about international security. And I get it. I know that you shouldn't carry anybody's suitcase. Like if someone came up to you at an airport and said, do you mind carrying my suitcase? And you go, oh yeah, fine. Turns out to be stuffed full of drugs. It wasn't like that. It was Gemma, who we'd worked with all the time and was like a sister to Liz. She said, can I just check what's in your suitcase? I said, yeah, she's got lithium batteries, guns, weapons. She's taken aerosols, you're in the whole thing. And Liz, she wasn't comfortable. She stressed about it, and was very happy in the end to be off that plane and reunite Gemma with her suitcase. But yeah, it was just another. Gemma, I'm so glad you emailed Jem, because that was absolutely cocking hilarious. Yeah, can you just, I'm sorry to ask, but do you mind just telling me what you are carrying? Just if I get asked. Yeah, okay. So Jem, thank you for doing that. And because Liz could take the hand luggage, because she's got the one pair of shoes, isn't she? She's got the Merrill utility shoes that cover every single conceivable event and party and do, first night, wrap parties, the lot, those shoes are covered. So, whereas some people might have a selection of shoes, those bad boys cover everything. Oh, I've got to have another cup of tea. Excuse me. Not another cup, another slurp. Right, so Nicholas from Islington has emailed. He's new on the block to us on JigJaw, not to me, but to JigJaw. He's emailed and said, me dear? And I say, yes, you dear. That's all he said, me dear, question mark. He is looking for a rescue dog at the moment, but he has been doing for quite a while. I mean, I would have had about 10 by the time he's chosen. He's doing proper research and stuff, whereas I go, I want that one. Dogs blog. I spend a lot of time on dogs blog, even though I've got 2 rescue dogs. Matt is basically waiting for our 2 dogs to die, and then he thinks, oh great, no more dogs. I'm on Rightmove a lot, just because I like browsing through houses, and like dogs blog. which has just got thousands of rescue dogs. So I spend the whole night saying to her, oh, look at the state. Oh man, look at this one. This is awful, isn't it? Oh, can we have that one? And he just ignores me and watches beautiful couples sailing around Greece on YouTube. Anyway, good luck, Nicholas, with that one. Hopefully you'll get a dog. Hopefully you'll get a dog before you move on to another house. Right, so Nanny Tish, just for those people who were asking, yes, she's got more Cravendale. Yep. Because a few episodes back, she messaged, oh, Joe, get some Cravendale. She loves Cravendale milk. None of us know why. I've been asked that many times on message. What is it all about Cravendale? I don't know. She keeps saying it's filtered, but I don't know what that means. But absolutely adamant about it, she is. Anyway, so she's got Cravendale. Thanks for asking. And she did say to me, please don't listen, Joe. Don't cook me. I'm getting... I'm not doing very much, so I'm just gaining weight. Don't cook me any more, bake me any cakes or anything. Do you know what I mean? Don't, because I'm eating them. Anyway, so we didn't, and then she rang up like a kicked puppy. She rang up like a kicked puppy the other night saying, oh, have you got anything sweet, Joe? Have you got anything? I mean, I hope I haven't told you this story before, but anyway, so she said, oh, yeah, have you got anything sweet? So I had to make her a marmalade tea bread yesterday. And I said, look, make that last one. Anyway, she had 3 bits last night. That's not going to last long. I said, Mum. Sure, I couldn't help it. So, but anyway, thank you everyone for asking about her. She's completely fine. But she might have to buy a pair of internet teeth like Steve's done in the end because the amount of sugar I'm giving her. However, she did say, look, while you're on JigJaw, and while you've got I've got 51 subscribers now. Yes. Who are you all? It's so exciting. She said, ask around you. She said, is anybody out there sort of my age or younger or older, doesn't matter really, good sexual appetite, likes a bit of a laugh, likes a holiday, so when all this finishes I can go on holiday. Won't smother them or anything like that, but just be nice, to do something, but have to have a good sexual appetite, just put it out there straight now. So she was all good with that, so I could put that request out, so I said I would. So she'll be absolutely delighted with that I have. And I did put Mum online for a bit, internet dating, and this was absolutely brilliant. So we had to, in the end, put, when it says, what do you like and stuff, it says, oh, I like cycling, I like badminton, I love my family, that sort of stuff. We had to put, in the end, teeth as a basic, because one guy in the picture looked nice, had nice full face, set of teeth, hair, everything. She met him down at Kiss Pavilion for a coffee because she wouldn't do anything, beyond that because it allowed her to leave if she hadn't committed to lunch or anything. Anyway, he turned up no teeth. So he was a bit gummy throughout the chat, and it's funny enough, she didn't find him very attractive. Nice bloke apparently, but no. So we've had to say, put your teeth in, at least we haven't said described it, but we have said teeth as a basic. What a curious thing to do though. On your first date. Anyway, so that was a bit of a diversion, sorry. The people from the north who messaged the other day say, hey up, they've now messaged to say, I'll do. So we say to you, I'll do, back to you, the north. Steve in the Australias, he's messaged to say he'd love a pair of those crocheted bloody undies. The Marie is crocheting. So I know since I mentioned the other day that my sister-in-law Marie has now been inundated to crochet underwear. I mean, it's out of control. She's almost going to have to stop her job to crochet them. Anyway, Marie, if you do them for Steve, I would wager he'll need a bit of extra double crochet support, if you know what I mean. So they'll be on their way, Steve. You're in a bit of a queue. But definitely, definitely she will. She can't stop crocheting, and as soon as she's got yours, I mean, if there's a particular colour you like, I'm presuming very soft crocheting fabric because they don't get itchy, do they? Anyway, so that's another order for you there, Marie. Matt went on another bike ride yesterday. He's bought a summer top and he's bought a speedometer. So now I'm only whispering because I try not to acknowledge what he's doing in that really clingy lycra. So so he's bought a summer top and a speedo. So not only does he cycle now and then sit down for the rest of the day because it's just so exhausting if the wind is like this. It's quite tough apparently. yeah, so he's bought a speedo because then he can now debrief on his own about his own speed and how the hell, so I've got Fred cracking on about sourdough and how to do the air pockets and all that malarkey. And then I've got Matt in his lycra and a speedo saying, oh, that hill was slightly tough. I was a bit slower going up that hill. Oh, Christ alive. Gonna have another slurp of my tea. Stand by, please. Matt from Hove actually emailed to say that, because I mentioned that he does these play readings via Zoom, and he'd invited me, and I sort of got categorically and rather swiftly said no thanks. Anyway, he messaged to say that actually he was really rather enjoying them still, and I've said good for you. That's good, isn't it? But I mean, if anybody else wants to join, I can give you his details. Oh yes, I meant to while I was on the subject of my mother, it's bottle bank update. Mum went with her 3 bottles to the bottle bank the other day, and the trip went really well. It went really well. She had I did ask her because I know that some of you like a bit of textual detail. She had a bottle of Gaviscon, 1 marmalade jar, you know, the Bon Maman, Seville orange, bitter Seville orange. I can't remember the other one. Yeah, so she was quite detailed in it, and I did ask specifically because I knew that I was going to have to mention it, because people have said, look, how's your mum trip to the bottle bank go? So she walked up, I think it's about a 7-minute walk, put the bottles in, boom, 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 3 of them, next she left, and then she went home again. So thank you all for asking, because I know she'll be really touched that you care. Just before I came out to do this one, the radio was on, and Human League, Don't You Want Me Baby, was on, and I've realised that is in fact the only song that I know from start to finish without making up words, that I actually know all the words from the beginning of the song to the end, because I just literally don't remember song words at all, and even if I've worked with bands and I've got the lyrics in front of me, I still can't remember them. There's something psychologically weird that I cannot remember it. But Don't You Want Me Baby by Human League. I was working in a waitress, that's a cocktail. No, see, I was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Yeah, I was. That's the right words. So yeah, I've realised that, and it made me actually, even saying that, there was, when I was on a West End show years ago, there was one called Guy. He was an understudy, and he went on. Someone rang in, the lead rang in ill, and he had to go on, and he totally and utterly forgot every single word with nerves, and he lard his whole way through it. La 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 la, lard it. Can you imagine? You'd just be so sick, wouldn't you? Feel physically sick. Yeah, so, poor bloke. And I was show calling for it, and yeah, oh, that was hard. Poor bloke. I wanted to go, right, can we stop? Can we give him a start? I just think, bring the curtain in. Let's get him off. Let's give him the words, and we'll start again. Obviously, I couldn't do that. This was just a shame. Right, so who else? Oh yeah, Kim from Thames Ditton has emailed actually, and he's emailed with quite a lengthy email about sailing. He loves sailing, absolutely loves it. If you're talking about anything particular, if you mention sailing, he's like a little meerkat, and his head spins around, and he finds anybody in the room who can talk about sailing. So he sent me, because I did make the mistake of saying, oh, it looks like good sailing weather. Anyway, he sent me such a long email about his trips, and so I've decided not to read it out, because I don't think, I didn't even read the whole thing. It is fascinating that it was about him leaning out and just like pulling that rope and then pushing that rope and then pushing one of the kids so he leant out really and the kid was crying, and it's all experience, isn't it? That sort of thing. But I think it's really nice that he felt he could share that sailing story with me, but I'm not really probably going to email back to try and get another one, unless anybody really has a need, of course. So Lee from Los Angeles has emailed. I've worked with him, and he just wanted to remind me, because he heard me saying, Patrick messaged and said, is there anyone cooler than me? Do I said, no, there isn't, Patrick, you are the coolest, that sort of thing. And he's emailed to say, I think you'll find that I'm the coolest, and I think you'll find that I know more A-list celebrities as good buddies than anyone else. So he's been quite categoric about that, and he's messaged me. So I mean, thank you very much. That's good. Good for you, and I'm really pleased for you. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anybody in those echelons, and I don't know anybody with a big boat with a helicopter on. I've just seen them, but I've never been on one. But I know that you do it all the time. And I also know that you're quite defensive. I suppose living in LA you would be. He's quite defensive. I was discussing a corporate guy that I was working with who had been working in Silicon Valley and now was working in Europe, and he asked me for a bio break, and I laughed and said, don't tell me you used to go to work on inline skates, and he rather coyly looked at me and went, yes I did. Anyway, so of course I mocked him, even though it turns out they were all paying us. So Lee from LA has messaged to say, look, inline skates are the coolest thing you can ever go to work on, and he's got one of those micro scooters, you know, so I think with a little engine on. So he's got very defensive for that lifestyle. Well, I think because originally Lee's from Essex. Now, if you went round Dagenham at Whalebone Lane on a pair of inline skates now, I think probably beaten to death. And I couldn't necessarily say they were wrong. I mean, so I mean, it's probably good you're out there doing that, and it's good that everyone does it, I suppose. I don't know. Cup of tea, tick. Tim has emailed to say that, contrary to what his colleague Tom has been saying, Tim has not been tipping the press off about where he's been going. So, because Tim's pretty famous, he's got a fan club and everything, in the lighting world, Tim just wanted to make it absolutely categorically clear that, the press, it wasn't him ringing them. And I think we'll all have to just imagine that he's being honest about that, because I just think it's really uncanny that every time you nip out to Waitrose or something, there's like a press squad there, papping away. But I mean, if you say, and I think maybe Tom was just being minxy then, were you, Tom? I don't know. I tell you what, having Tim and Tom in the same conversation is pretty tricky, isn't it? When you're trying to do really a rather mind-blowing, drug-inducing jigsaw. So good. So it's not Tim tipping off the press about himself. And also he wanted to say that the sew-on badges that he did for his fan club that he started last week, he started getting them printed because the fan club was really taking off. He's run out of those. So if you want a sew-on badge for Tim's fan club, you're going to have to wait, I think. Who else? Oh yes, right, Hilary's emails from Canada. From Canada. I can't do Canadian. She said, first of all, the granola that she's been eating recently, because all Canadians eat granola just because it's like a law, and you're brought. Your first food is that. It's not milk, it's granola when you're born. And so anyway, she's messaged saying that the granola that she's been currently eating has been a little bit stiff, and it's actually chafed her gums away. So she's getting those. She's having to go down a grade of granola, which is fair enough, I suppose. Anyway, she said that she's absolutely over the moon. I don't know if you've been jumping around these episodes. I high five to you, because this is confusing enough if you have been going through it diligently from number 1 onwards, because you understand a bit about the people I'm talking about. But some people haven't. I've been looking at the figures and I'm just so confused as to what people think's going on. Anyway, so if this is new to you, you'll think I'm going mental. But basically, Hilary's mum lives in a gingerbread house, made a gingerbread, her sisters made it, it's been gingerbread, it's all lacquered, it's all glazed, it's winter proof and everything, and they have pretty harsh winter down there. Anyway, last week an animal got in at the stairs. Her mum was stranded upstairs, they had to get an aluminium ladder and move all her stuff down. Anyway, that's all happened, but Hilary was over the moon because the shortbread that she was re-cooking, she was going for shortbread as opposed to gingerbread. She's over the moon. The shortbread has been much more of a triumph than she thought. She's absolutely thrilled for them. And she didn't do the light sugar dusting on them. It's a bit of a trip hazard, a bit like Home Alone. Her mum would come straight down those shortbread stairs, straight down like she'd be on marbles. Anyway, but she's over the moon. So, yeah, so we're pleased. And so, Claire, I know you were worried about the internal stair situation. This is nipple tassel Claire, pearly nipple tassel Claire. She was very worried about the stairs, but now it's all good. It's all good. It's all gravy. Well, it's not. It's all shortbread. Yes, and actually, ironically, Bianca, who is another Canadian, who is from the same place as Hilary, she's living in London, but she wants everyone to know that actually when she goes home, she also wrestles elks, moose, bears. She's particularly good with the brown bear. Apparently, she can really. She's got them off to a nap. She doesn't need Inga Svensson's or the Commodore of Carl Shorten Beach's help on that at all. Although she listened diligently. She said, but recently she's also had to encounter some dangerous beavers. So she's added those to her list of what she wrestles in the mornings when she goes home. And she said tapping trees in London for maple syrup and stuff. Because Hilary at home, she just goes out of her front door, she taps a tree, and that's the daily sustenance. But I think in central London, I think Bianca's struggling a bit, and probably going to be arrested. So anyway, she's trying, and she also then just sent me a photograph of her lunch. She said, look how healthy my lunch is, and it was like all those alfalfa seeds and stuff, and like chia, and little bits of tiny healthy cheesy looking bits. And I made myself a cheese and beetroot sandwich with salad cream, and I was absolutely delighted with it because it had vegetables in it. But then I saw Bianca's lunch, and I felt a bit, well, like I've let myself down every level. But I haven't got chia seeds in, and I haven't got any alfalfa. But I did recycle like a Canadian, so that's great news. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you because... oh, no, I'm not. I've got a couple of minutes because I just need to say that Junior Marrakesh, he's emailed. I'm so sorry, Junior Marrakesh. He's emailed to say, am I the most handsome Moroccan you've ever met? Yes, you are. And he's got this amazing hair, which he runs this amazing, Moroccan smelling oil through. And it just... everybody around it, he just oozes testosterone. He's a bit like Mark, the double stamping Mark from Dublin with a stamping tap, who just throws his hormones around. Junior Marrakesh has got so much Moroccan testosterone, you can almost see it coming off his hair. So yeah, I'm glad you emailed because yes, you are the most handsome Moroccan, and goodness only knows what's happening over there in Morocco during this lockdown. But I'm sure you're having a nice time. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'm going to wave like this, as is now traditional, even though now I'm leaning over quite a lot. And I will see you in episode 19. Stay well. Love you. Bye.